If you would stand with me, turn to 1 Samuel chapter 30. 1 Samuel chapter 30. If you get to Matthew, you went too far. If you're still in Leviticus, you haven't went far enough. 1 Samuel chapter 30, verse 6. We're going to drop right in the middle of a conversation. Is that all right? 1 Samuel chapter 6, there you find these words recorded. Now David was greatly distressed, for the people spoke of stoning him, because the soul of all the people was grieved, every man for his sons and his daughters. But David strengthened himself in the Lord his God. Or as your translation may say, David encouraged himself. If you don't mind, for a few minutes today, I want to preach from this thought. Stop draining people. Stop draining people. Some of y'all didn't say amen because y'all are in the draining business. Some of y'all got PhDs in drainology. Some of y'all ain't brought nothing to the party in 30 years. You just brought your Tupperware dish to take something away. But how many of you know that after a while, if only thing you bring is your Tupperware dish to take something away, eventually somebody going to quit inviting you? Hello, somebody. Y'all, let me put it to another way. If you don't ever bring no bottle to the party, eventually folk will quit inviting you. Y'all don't want to talk. Let me talk to some of y'all over here. If you don't never bring nothing besides plastic cups to the family reunion, eventually somebody is going to quit inviting you to Thanksgiving dinner, because the purpose of us getting together is that all of us might bring something that together our meal is better than if I ate it by myself. Is there anybody in here that understands sometimes you only invited because you make the best potato salad? Let me help you out. You ain't that friendly, you ain't that nice, but we like your potato salad. And so sometimes you invite it because of what you bring to the table, but after a while, you got to mature to a place that you quit taking from everybody and learn how to give back. Hello, somebody. So just for a few minutes, I want to deal with this issue of stop draining people. First of all, let me help you out. You have outgrown other folks' counsel. There comes a point in your spiritual walk that you get to a place that the folks you kicked it with can no longer give you spiritual advice. As long as you was finding out where the party was and where the club was and who was out there and who was hiring, they were good counsel. But the moment God elevates you, you are no longer able to find counsel with folk who don't know God like you know God. Let me help y'all out. There comes a point in which I'm not better than them. I just outgrown their advice. If you always advising me to cuss somebody out and to go off on folk, and God has moved me to a place that I realize that's a sin, I have outgrown your counsel. Let me help you out. You ain't wrong. I'm wrong for listening. Ooh, y'all missed that. Y'all, see, you keep wanting to judge them. Don't judge them. Judge yourself. It's not that they crazy. It's the fact you keep listening to crazy folk. There comes a point in which I can tell my friend, listen, we can go to the game together. We can't go to the prayer closet together. Ooh, y'all missed that. You mean, in other words, I can go cheer on K-State with you, but you can't help me cheer on Jesus because you ain't at a place that you know God like I know. Y'all miss it. You at church rolling your eyes and mad because the church went 20 minutes late. I'm trying to tell God, I'll stay as long as you want me to stay because I need a word from you. We ain't the same, and you ain't wrong. I'm wrong because I keep kicking it and listening to you. Stop draining folk. I'm about to help every husband out. You ready? Ladies, your husband was never designed to make you happy. Nobody said amen. Every man should have shouted right there. Every man, y'all owe me $5 at the end of service. Let me say it again to help y'all out. He was never designed to make you happy. You can't find one scripture where it says he was designed to make you happy. You ready? He is only supposed to be icing on your happy cake. You got to get to a place that your happiness is not predicated on somebody else, but you can be happy all by yourself. Where my single folk at that can say, I woke up happy. I went to bed happy. In the middle of the day, I was happy. I don't need you to make me happy. I'm happy all by myself. See, you have not been let down by people. You've expected people to play a role they were never designed to play in you. Y'all missed that. You keep wanting them to put a smile on your face. Put a smile on your own face. You not ugly because of me. You ugly because you ugly. I can be pretty and smile by myself. Why? When I look in the mirror, I see a miracle. That makes me smile if ain't nobody else in the room. That husband, that wife, they were designed to be icing on the cake, not the cake itself. If you only eat butter frosting or buttercream frosting and don't ever eat no cake, you're going to get diarrhea eventually. And if you only let him make you happy, eventually your happiness is going to run through you and not stay in. Y'all missed that. And that's why you got to have some substance and let them be icing and not the cake. Now, I know some of y'all diabetics, so let me help y'all out. They were designed to be gravy on the pot roast, not the pot roast itself. Y'all mad at me. See, so you got to understand, gravy don't make the meal. Gravy make the meal a little bit better. But is there anybody here that can say, if I don't have no gravy, but I got pot roast made right, I still got a meal? As long as the potatoes and the carrots all right, I still got a meal. The gravy just made it a little better, but it didn't make the meal. And what happens when you make him the joy and the happiness, you make them a little g God. And let me help you out. There is a slippery slope between little g and big G. Y'all missed that. If Leonette let CJ make her happy little G, in year 1, in year 10, he'll become a big G. Not because he's making that much money, but because she made him her God. Now she got to hear from him every day. Now she got to say to him, do you still love me? And do you still care about me? And now if he say no, she have a bad day. I need to talk to some real folk that say, listen, if you don't love me, I love myself enough for both of us. If you don't appreciate me, I appreciate myself for both of us. And if you don't understand the blessing that I am, you can go when you want to go. But what I got, you can't find nowhere else. Stop draining people. You've outgrown their counsel. They didn't let you down. You let yourself down. Secondly, you ready? They can't confirm God for you. Let me, come on. See, and little kids, when you teach them their ABCs, you say, A is for apple. A, apple. Now, I know y'all with the hip hop stuff now. No, I'm talking about old school. A for apple. B, right? You teach them that. And your kid, when they learn the ABCs, eventually says, Mama, A, and they're looking for confirmation from you to see if they got it right. Now, God told me to tell you, you are beyond the ABCs with him. You keep running to him talking about, did I really hear you when you said, leave that sorry joker alone? And God said, I'm tired of playing this game. When I said he was sorry, I meant just that. I didn't say he was going to always be sorry, but in this season, he's sorry. So let him go and let me work on him, because every time you work on him, I got to step back. Y'all missed that. That's why some of your folks still crazy and still messed up, because you heard God, but you don't want to trust God. Did you really say? Tithe. Did you really say? Did you really say, stop all that cussing? Cussing? Did you really say that? Did you really say, I can't hate nobody? I mean, I heard you, but did you really hate? Is that, see, God says, these folk cannot confirm who he is for you. You got to know his voice for yourself. You keep asking unsaved folk to confirm a relationship with God and what God said to you. And if they knew that, they'd be saved now. Y'all missed that. The fact that they ain't saved lets you know they don't really know who God is, because if you know who God is, you won't help but fall in love with him. You asking the blind man, did he see what you just saw on TV? And then you mad at the blind man because he said, I didn't catch that. And you dumb enough, you hit rewind and said, look, now before you laugh at your neighbor, you done did that time after time after time, asking unsaved folk to confirm what God told you in your prayer closet, and wasn't nobody there but you and God. Y'all don't want to. God said, I want you to know me, and I want to know you, not through somebody else. I want to know you intimately myself. They can't confirm God for you. There comes a place where when you didn't hear God correctly, you go back to him. Ooh. Now, come on, let me help y'all out. Some of y'all love to come to me and say, Pastor, did God tell me X, Y, and Z last night when I was praying? And then y'all get annoyed with me when I look at you and say, I don't know. Well, why don't you know? You my pastor. Because I ain't nosy. And that God didn't want me to know what God said to you. That's why God called you into the throne room to talk to you. If God wanted me to go in the throne room with you, God would have invited me with you. But God didn't invite me to go into the throne room with you. God invited you. In fact, my job is just to get you to the place that you can walk in the throne room by yourself. Y'all missed that. You want me to hold your hand and walk in the throne room with you. And God said, that's not Davis's role. Davis's role is to teach you and usher you to the place that you can hear me say, come on in. Y'all missed that. That's why you got to know God's voice. So when God says come in, you go in by yourself. I don't want to go in alone. I want you to go in with me. Let me help all y'all couples. Sherry and Will, I love y'all. Let me help y'all out. Will die tomorrow. Will is not going to go to heaven and fix up his room for him and Sherry. He gonna go to heaven and enjoy his own room. Y'all still here? There are no double beds in heaven. Y'all missed that. Ain't no queen size beds. Ain't no California kings. In heaven ain't nothing but singles. Because God said, I go to prepare a place for you, that where I am, you may be also. He didn't say I go to prepare a place for y'all, that where I am, y'all can be there. God said, no, do all the y'all down here. But when I invite you in the throne room, come by yourself. Ooh. Look to your neighbor and say, it's tight, but it's right. Tell him I might be a little mad, but I can't be all the way mad because he telling the truth. I done let some of y'all off the hook. I'm telling y'all. I ain't going to take no offering. Just slide me $5. I know that you appreciative. Folks will set you up to be their God and then be mad at you when you are not all-knowing, all-powerful, and everywhere at the same time. they'll be mad at you for just being human. Humans go to sleep. Humans' phones malfunction from time to time. Humans sometimes don't want to deal with you. But how many of you know Big Mama said Jesus is on the main line? Tell him what you want. Big Mama said the line is never busy. Tell him what you want. Yeah. In other words, is there anybody here that know Jesus don't got no call waiting? He don't ever put you on speakerphone, and he never mutes the conversation. Big Mama say he's as close as the mention of his name, that when you call on Jesus, he'll show up and deal with just. All right, let me get up out of here. Stop draining, folks. Here's the hardest thing. You ready for us to understand? You've got to learn how to self-pour. You got to learn how to self-pour. It separates you from the elementary you. When you got little kids, you got to pour their juice for them. But there comes a place and an age in which they ought to be able to pour for themselves. You keep pouring in everybody else, and eventually you will become empty yourself. And if you're not careful, you will look around for somebody to pour in you. And here's where the maturity level comes in, is that God will say, I don't want them to pour in you. I want them just to top you off. Y'all missed that. I want to be the only one who pours in you, because I want to make sure that you have the substance that you need for the storm you gonna deal with. Y'all missed that. Is there anybody in here ever made Kool-Aid? Understand this. If you gonna make Kool-Aid and you gonna make it right, you gotta pour the stuff in the Kool-Aid first and let the stuff get to the bottom, and then you pour water into the Kool-Aid. But the good thing is, if you know how to make it, you stir as you pour. You don't wait till the top of it and then start stirring. It'll mess up your beverage. I need to talk to some real folk, some ghetto fabulous folks, some folk that been on welfare and then got the 10-for-1 Welch's Kool-Aid that you gotta shake it and pour it in there and put your sugar in there and turn the water on, and as the water's going, you start stirring. That's why the Bible says, stir up the gift which is in you. I wish I had somebody that don't mind stirring. I don't need another spoon. I can stir it myself. I don't need you to help me. I can stir it myself. Is there anybody here that understand when all hell break loose, you can't look to the left and you can't look to the right? Big Mama said, I'll fix my eyes on Jesus, the author and finisher of my faith. I stretch my hand to thee. No other help I know. I gotta go now. But is there anybody here that can pour in yourself? David found himself the same friends that he helped out, the same friends that he poured into. Now they want to kill him because all hell done broke loose. But the Bible says that David encouraged himself. What do you mean, David? David told himself of the same promises that God had already said. Is there anybody here? I double dog dare you to look in a mirror and start stating everything God has already said to you. That's how you encourage yourself. I'm the head and not the tail. I'm a lender and not a borrower. I am who God says I am. I'm strong. I'm mighty. I'm gonna make it. I'm a survivor. I didn't die yesterday. God has a purpose. Start pouring. Start pouring in yourself so that you got the right substance on the inside. Stop looking like you are red but not got no cherry flavor. That's because you didn't stir it at the right time. But if you stir it as you go, you know it's stronger at the bottom. That's where all the sugar is. And if you get this word in you, you'll be stronger at the bottom. You ought to be rooted and grounded in the word. That's how you know you got the right substance, because you got it deep on the inside. Stop draining. Stop draining folks. They ain't got what you need. They ain't got no word for you. They ain't got no peace for you. They ain't got no joy for you. But you keep draining what little they have. And God said, in this season, you either gonna seek me or you gonna be a failure. Because everybody you run to, you're gonna find out they running on empty themselves. You think I'm lying? Call your friend tonight and say, hey, man, my light's about to go off. I need $1,000. He about to come up with every excuse. If you would have called yesterday, I had it yesterday. If you can wait till the first, I have it on the first. Every excuse for not coming through in your time of need. But if you ever seek God, I wish I had somebody. God has a way that if he don't give you the full 1,000, he'll give you an extension by the electricity company. God has a way, and that if he don't do it this way, he'll do it his own way. That's why some of y'all ought to shout and say, he may not come when I need him, but he's always right on time. I thought I needed $1,000 in cash. I didn't know God would make him give me a rebate on my account. That's just as good as the money I thought I needed. That's why in my prayer life, I leave a little room for God to just be God. You keep running to folks, falling out with folks, mad at folks because they're human. You keep trying to tell folk your good news and they hating, smiling but hating you. You had thought they was going to throw you a party, but they was hating on you. Soon as you left, they got on the phone and talked about you like a dog. Now you at home crying, and God said, but I didn't want you to run to them to confirm it. I wanted you to run to them to encourage them that I'm still blessing. But you wanted from them what only I could give you. And so you get to a place where if don't nobody else pat you on the back, and don't nobody else hug you, and don't nobody else call your name in the microphone that you brought your little 2 packs of cookies, you get to a place where you're not going to drain nobody by complaining to them. And Lou Holt said it best, half the folks you complain to don't care, and the other half happy that it's you and not them. I ain't saying Lou is a theologian, but that'll preach by itself. David finds himself where none of the fellas will encourage him. None of the fellas will say, David, it's all right, it ain't your fault. Because they're caught up in their own loss, caught up in their own situation. So the word says that David had to encourage. He had to encourage himself. And once he encouraged himself, then the word says, then he went to God and said, Lord, shall we pursue? And will we recover? I don't know who I'm talking to this morning, but listen, right now, start encouraging yourself. I promise you, you're not going to die from this. I promise you. I know, David, how can you say that? Because listen, believers, we don't really die anyway. We transition from this life to another. That's why I can tell you as a believer, you're not going to die from this, because God's not going to let the enemy have the victory. God's not going to give him bragging rights. So whatever you're going through, understand this, you're going to make it. You are going to survive it. And the question is not if you're going to survive it. The question is, how are you going to come out of it? Are you going to come out bitter? Or are you going to come out better? Are you going to come out wiser? Are you going to come out stronger? That's not on the contingent on God, that's contingent on you. Whoever I'm talking to, I know that it looks like it's all hell breaking loose. It looked like things ain't going to get better. That joker said he was going to love you. Now he acting a plumb fool. They said they weren't going to ever go, but they left. They said they was going to always say, yeah, believe and do trust anything you said, but now they question you. They said you're going to always be able to come over, but now they're giving you visiting hours. Whatever the issue is, let me help you out. God said, don't drain nobody with it, but come to him. And he says, I'm ready to pour in you. The joy of the Lord is my strength. Not the joy of Sherry, but the joy of the Lord. Not the joy of Aunt Joyce, but the joy of the Lord is my strength. That as long as I got him, I got a joy that the world can't take and the world can't touch. As we stand all over the sanctuary, I'm going to ask the choir to sing, Give Me You.